Hey everybody, I'm back again. Sorry, I'm running a little behind. Um, there was a Facebook issue, so I had to back up a little bit. But I am knocking out WARPATH today. Hey Matt, how's it going, man? This guy right here is one of the absolute favorites of mine for the X-Men X-Force franchise. And I I remember this character when he made his first appearance back way back in 1984. And I was a kid, and when I saw him come back, I thought he took on the alias of his brother, John, which was the original X-Men from the 75 reboot as Thunderbird, and he died. And he played Thunderbird for a little while as a persona to get into infiltrate the X-Men. And they believed that he was the character Thunderbird for the longest time, and thought that he didn't die, that he'd been in a coma and all this other mess, and it was crazy. He infiltrated the X-Men with full intentions of killing Professor X, and finally ended up joining the X-Men for a little while before he went off to Hellcat, the Held Lions, I believe it was, the Hellions, and then he went to the Apache Reserve and stayed there for a while until Cable came back and incorporated him into the X-Force team, which was originally called the New Mutants. So, got a long dramatic history with this guy, but he nails it though. He is one of the best characters out there to have if you're going to build a team for combat. This is definitely the guy to have on the team. Yeah, you're right on with that, Matt. He's got some of the best stuff out there, man. This character is just crazy with crossovers and whatnot, and currently I believe he's on the new X-Force team, and recently got replaced by Colossus as the muscle for the team, and he was in a black and gray outfit for a while, like that team has gone to. I'm not sure if he's rejoined X-Force or what he's at right now. I tried to search it out, but all I could find is that he's MIA. So I'm guessing that he went back to the reserve. They wrote him out, so you got to deal with that mess, but it is what it is. Still a phenomenal character. I get asked a lot why I don't draw more of this character and more of the X-Force stuff, since I'm such a big fan of it. But I don't want to get inundated into a specific title to where I draw nothing but, because then you kind of get pigeonholed, and I don't want to be, the Luke Skywalker of I don't want it to be the Luke Skywalker of my comic career, so I try to avoid that. I don't want to lock in, just drawing Spider-Man or Batman or whatever. I try not to lock in that way because I don't want to get that situation. Now, there's not too much to this guy, so he's going to come off really quick. I need to cut that back. he's probably going to be a quick draw here, hopefully. I'm surprised I made it in today. I actually just came back off of an 8-hour road trip. We left out very, very early this morning and got back for some family business. And I tell you, well, tired. But life goes on. You guys still need it daily. So here we are. You're welcome. Now, these custom blades used to belong to his brother John from his military days, and they have a survival. They're from the Apache tribe, but they don't go with Apache style knives in here. What they do is they actually have a military style to them, almost a classic survival knife style. So they've got the ridges for actual blade to blade combat, like this. They've got the tines on them. And they have this thick back edge to them. Makes them pretty solid and sturdy. Drawing in these whopping knuckles this guy has. He's got some of the biggest hands. And that's a trademark for this character. If you ever draw him, be sure and pay attention to the fact that he has massive, massive hands. And I try to cut them down a little bit, but it still comes off strange if you don't. It just doesn't work proportionate to his body. Dude's just got big hands. So, it is what it is. Now, I will be informing you guys tonight. I will be recording and posting the Reboot podcast for Comic Kickstarter, as well as the other series that I've got going, which I'm going to surprise everybody with when it comes out, because there's a lot of people that are expecting that one. But finally got the server issues and the blog issues up. My custom site's going up tonight, and I'm so very proud of it, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So if you get a notice on it, and you're on my Facebook list, so I don't bomb my friends, I will make a general post about it. If you want to check it out, awesome, but you don't have to. Nothing to buy or anything crazy like that. It's just hanging out, talking shop. And tonight I'm going to be talking about the Stan Lee Los Angeles Con that's going for his namesake, and the new transitions there, as well as talking about some portfolio building and how you should do that with the internet age in comparison to dropping it off where you're going to get it thrown into file 13. If you don't know what that classic term means, it means it's going to get thrown in the trash, because most editors aren't there to review, and they're not there for your benefit of submitting to you with you're submitting to them, actually, where you think you may have that benefit. They're there to promote the company. It's rare that they ever take submissions anymore, and if they do, you're very, very lucky and privileged if you get that opportunity, if you get somebody in the nice and right mood. So I will be sharing that information tonight, so hang out with me if you can. If not, that's cool too. It's a little early in the day for that yet, but I definitely will be. I'm going to get on this face before I start patterning this out. I showed the preview on this, and I gave him a true Apache chin and look in the face. I worked very hard to get that look and make it look where it just doesn't look like everybody else, because it's a blocked type of chin and a very sharp nose. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys saw that when I drew this card. But I had one guy that I previewed it to. I won't name any names or throw anybody under the bus or anything, but he was one of 3 guys that actually said, "Hey, you're doing Tarzan today." I was like, man, but I don't take offense to that, because it actually looks like him from the Disney animated version quite a bit, and I thought that was rather amusing. I'm going to keep this open because I don't want to mess it up. Again, I don't want to muddy up the water. But with this suit, it's very simple. It's black, and it's black and red. Some people say it's blue and red, but whatever works at the time. Are you asking about the Disney Artists and Writers Workshop, Matt? No, that's not what I'm going to be after. I'm actually going to be talking more about portfolio stuff directly and independently. As far as the con goes, I'm going to be talking a lot about how to make it happen without it being rejected and filed away, because like I said, that happens a lot, and I get asked all the time, even though I don't go to a lot of shows. Matter of fact, I've only done, oh good lord, 2 in the last 3 years. I did Comic Palooza, and which I did remotely, just like I'm doing for you guys right now on these dailies, and I did a Mayfair Con as well. But I don't do a lot of conventions because I'm so busy working on actual pages, and it's such a rarity for me to get out to do that. But I'm going to try and be at this Los Angeles Con. I really, really dig the fact that Stan's going to be involved, and I'm going to take my part in it very, very quickly, I hope. That's a big leap for me, though, because like I said, with my work schedule, I don't get out a lot. I am, you can't see them right now, but there's cuffs on this thing that hold me down and keep me here. That straps my ankle to the table. Oh, I see. You've been recommended for the shop? That's cool, man. You should do it. You should do it. If the opportunity is there and you like the work and it's something you want to do, I highly recommend doing it. I'm going to put in this belt, but I'm going to keep it simple because I'm going to do an old Batman style, because I don't want to draw all those crazy pouches all over the place for this belt. I'm going to keep it down in there like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out and put his pelvis out here and put that other leg running down this way, because he's all crunched down, so you can't see all the midsection folded back. And this is going to be way out here by his knee, so we're going to have to draft this back as a shadow and block that out. Just flat out blacken it out. Because here we're going to see this part of the leg start to take form. Right up in here. . And then the diamond shape knees that I do, boxing it out. And I'll tell you real quick, I'll interrupt it because I make knees like this. I show the upper cap like that, and then I show this almost a cup type shape like that, and then I outline with the old Kirby style, I don't want to call it a crook, but I guess that's what it is. So I draw knees over like that. Everybody asks me how I do it all the time. That's just, there you go. Crash course version. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. I'm going to draw on this headband here. And I'm going to put in that top line. Ta-da! Now he's ready for aerobics. No kidding. Sorry. But going to knock out some of this hair here. Switching over to my 9. Getting a Bane impression there. It's a 9. But sorry, it's been a long day. And it's just starting. Gonna block out that hair there, so we have that going on. And again, as always, I'm gonna block out this one side, so we get a nice highlight on there. And I'll try not to move the table too much. Yeah, this guy is awesome. I used to just enjoy the heck out of when Greg Capullo was drawing X-Force, and before he went over to Image for Spawn and then just moved in over there. I really loved his incarnation, and that's back when X-Force would fight the MLF, which was the Mutant Liberation Front, and would fight a lot of the older classic X-Men characters, a lot of their villains and stuff, and it was just phenomenal. I used to get so hooked into that, and that's why till this day Greg's one of my biggest influences, because of that right there. That specific book got me hooked back into X-Men comics when I didn't want to draw X-Men at all. And when he came back for Cable and X-Force, it just shot a nerve, and I had to jump on. But I didn't get into the Rob Liefeld cloning kick like everybody did there for a little while. No offense to Rob or anything. I don't mean it like that at all, because I'm a fan. But, yes, I'm a fan. But when they originally did X-Force and it all popped off, I didn't really get into it. I enjoyed it. I collected it. I read it. But I didn't get fired up about it until Greg took over. And that was, oh, good Lord, 11 was Rob's last, I believe it was, and then Greg took over, and I just ate that series up after that. So I know a lot of people are going to rip on me because you like Liefeld. Oh my God, what's wrong with you? No, I actually enjoy his stuff and admit it. So he did a lot for comics, whether you think he did or not. And he's a very underestimated talent. Yeah, he had to have some growth, just like everybody else. But his stuff was stylized, just like Kirby's, you know. Not that I'm comparing him to Jack at all. totally different age and stylization across the board. But yeah, if you look at it apples to apples, you know, the dude made a lot of marks that a lot of people didn't make in comics, especially at the time, where they should have. So now I'm going to line this just a little bit. I'm going to try and not bury it in the hair. As always with these things, when you're doing shading, you have to be very careful. It's a volatile situation. You could screw the drawing up to no end. So you got to get it out there and get it all done up. But yeah, like I said, I really, really dig this character. And I have no qualms about it. I wish I'd have drawn him more now. You know, I said before that I didn't like to draw him all the time because I didn't want to get assimilated into that, you know, or inundated into that, where I was just drawing, you know, you have to draw X-Men or X-Force or this, that, and the other. And I didn't want to get hooked into that. But now that I'm doing this card, I don't know, maybe I've changed my mind a little bit. I like the character. He's a quick draw for sure. Got a lot of life to him. Now, because of the way this hair is drawn, I'm gonna leave this open for the most part because I don't want to cross all that. And I will put this ridge right in here. I'm going to highlight the top of that shoulder. So we can get that done. And then go down here for this shoulder strap. Now this is the color, the red strap that goes across from his chest to his shoulder. And this goes down around underneath the bottom of the shoulder and wraps down and around the delt onto the edge of the bicep. So, and then he's got two red spikes that come up under here on the abdomen, right above the belt, which is fine. It's a really slick design. It's almost like the new Nightwing costume when they traded up the disco version for, as everybody calls it, the disco version for the new black and blue suit, which has become ever so popular. Oops. Live drawing, folks. I just penciled right over his thumb. So we've got his thigh coming in here. Now I know there's a lot of red on the outside of it, but in this angle you wouldn't see that because it's down under the outside, so it wraps on the outer part of his thigh. We're not going to have that show there. Put in a little bit of crinkle work for the pelvis area to show, just a little. I'm gonna, since this is a sketch card here, I'm gonna go ahead and just black this out. It's not a cop out here, it's just for expediency. And because he's leaning over, it's going to be blacked out anyway. And I'll leave the line for the edge of the knee there. Now we'll leave this other side like this. Kind of hard to do this with this thick 9 lead, but there we go. Okay. Got that shaded out. I'm going to switch back over to my 5 here. Yes, I know my lines aren't straight. I normally would rule these out if I was going to do it, you know, a little more polished. But being a sketch card like this, I'll just go ahead and hammer it out that way. But as a rule of thumb, if you're doing these for a professional commission or whatnot, you know, make the habit of drawing out the lines nice and smooth. And when I ink those, I will straighten them up, just for sake of argument. Okay. Now I'm going to get this handle here. Like that. And I'm going to leave this one open because I don't want to mess with it too much. I'm just going to put a nice light reflection there and go for it. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this mask. A lot of people like to do this mask black, but I'm going to leave this mask open. That's what I was going to say. But I'm going to leave this mask open because I'm going to color it red instead, like the suit. I'm going to go with that version. The belt will be yellow, X-Men style yellow or gold. So will this arm gauntlet or wristband, depending on what you call it. The other one over there, which is out of shot. And this headband's going to be red as well. I'm going to put in a couple of detail lines to show that it's actually fabric. So, I think we have him. I'm going to call it a day on that one. So, hope you guys dig it. Matt, thanks for the comments, man. I appreciate it. What do we have tomorrow? I need to see. What do we have up next? Domino, another X-Force member. If you don't know who she is, check her out. Marvel Wiki has a great report up on her. She's awesome. I've been a fan of that character as part of the X-Force family. But, yeah, check it out. I will be here tomorrow. If you get a chance to check out the podcast when I post it, I'll be recording tonight and putting that up tomorrow. If you guys get a chance to check it out, please do. ComicKickstarter.com. Just go there. Like I said, there's nothing to sell or buy or whatever. It's just a good time hanging out and giving some great info on how to get your portfolio set up, as well as this new Stanley Los Angeles Con he's taken over. Amazing stuff going on out there. So that's it for me. Another one down, and see you tomorrow.